What's going on, guys? Back here with another Amazon FBA video as I promised. So I'm going to make this one pretty short. I'm just going to talk about something that I've discovered through doing product research. Again, I'm in the process of launching my first product, so I've been learning a lot along the way, and I want to share this all and document it as I go. So this is a really important thing to consider because if you don't do this properly, this could cost you thousands of dollars and could be the difference between a successful product and a failing product. So you really want to pay attention to this. I think a lot of people get this wrong from what I've seen in the different groups that I'm in. I'm in a variety of Amazon groups on Facebook. So let's dive right in. So basically, what you want to be careful for is making sure that when you're doing product research, that you select the broad match keyword and the broadest keyword. So what do I mean by that? I'm going to use this as an example. Okay, so there is an item called travel bottles. Travel bottles are the little bottles that you use to get through TSA check when you're traveling and you want to make sure they're compliant with TSA. So while doing product research, I found a silicone travel bottle. Now I'm going to pull up the Jungle Scout metrics for this. One second. I'm doing this live so you guys can see it. So now these numbers aren't incredible, but for someone starting out, if you did want to just sort of get your feet wet and start with a little tester product and maybe make $1,000, $2,000 a month, which totally seems doable based on these revenue projections, you could because the reviews are not super competitive. For this particular item, there's only 2 reviewers over 1,000, and then everyone else is under, seems like around under 300. So totally room to come into this market, maybe differentiate yourself a little bit and launch a good product. The average monthly sales is not bad, and then the average reviews isn't too high. So that's all great. That's all dandy. However, what the mistake here is that silicone travel bottles is not the broadest key term. Okay, people are not going to. Well, I shouldn't say that. There are people who will search for silicone travel bottles. Maybe they're health conscious and maybe they are sort of averse to using plastic for a variety of reasons. But in this situation, most people are going to search for travel bottles. Okay, or they might add TSA in front of that, but they're going to usually use the broadest keyword possible. Most people. And this matters, okay? If you have the top selling silicone travel bottle, then you can rely on a very specific keyword like silicone travel bottles. But when you're just starting out and you're just coming into a new market, you need to go for the broadest one because you're not going to be ranking the highest on the first page to start out unless you have some sort of incredible Amazon ranking skills or some tricks up your sleeve that I don't know about. Now, let's just look here. Let's just look at these numbers. Monday morning, I'm fired up for the week. So here we can see that the numbers are going to be different, right? It's more competitive than it was for just silicone, right? These are less competitive numbers, generally speaking. Now, this isn't probably the best example from what I'm seeing, but actually one thing to pay attention to is the average price on the travel bottles is lower than on silicone. And I think that's sort of the point at which I would not do a product is under $12. Some people recommend 13. So I would potentially be misled by the silicone numbers as opposed to going through the travel bottle numbers like here and then deciding not to do this product. Or just maybe even doing product research in terms of what I can improve, reading the wrong reviews, just overall rankings, thinking that you're competing with this set of sellers as opposed to competing with this set of sellers, which is who you're really competing with. So This is really important, guys. There are examples of this on an even more, actually, let me pull up another one just so I can show you guys how much of an impact this can make. So let's use bamboo. Bamboo is a pretty common variation. So let's do bamboo utensils. Okay. Now, this is great. Bamboo utensils is going to pull up some numbers. And oops, let's go back. Disposable utensils. Okay, let's jungle scout that up. Let's get regular utensils going. And let's jungle scout this up as well. Okay, now I've never even looked at this niche, but not too crazy in terms of competition. We see here that, yeah, again, these aren't the best numbers, but again, there are people here with super low reviews that are making some money and they're on the first page. Now let's look at regular utensils. Okay, now this is an extreme example, but look at the difference in these numbers. I mean, yeah, they're making a killing, but the competition is really stiff, and you definitely would not want to do this product as your first one probably, unless you had some sort of crazy access to a supplier. But likely what's happening with the product as saturated as this is people are able to sell it at a price point that you can't because they've been selling for longer, they can order more inventory, they can get a lower price. You're going to have a really hard time entering into this market. Whereas over here, you might have a chance. But again, people for the most part are going to be searching for utensils, not for bamboo utensils. So go by the broadest keyword possible, guys. Really make sure. And the way to do this is look at the commonalities. Look at all of these have leak-proof travel toiletry, right? Travel-proof toiletry tubes, travel bottles, right? Travel bottle set, travel bottles, right? Even though they're made out of silicone, these are travel bottles. So you want to pull up a bunch of these competitors and see what's the most common keyword that's used, and if whichever one has the highest amount of competition, that's probably the keyword that you need to go by. That's the one you need to use for your product research to make sure that you're using the most accurate data and the most accurate reflection of the current competition, so that you're not entering into what they call a red ocean, right? You want to get into the blue ocean, not into a red ocean where there's a bunch of sharks waiting to eat you up. So let me know if this wasn't clear at all, but maybe I'll even make a little handout on how to do this properly, but I'll definitely put it in the description. So anyways, that's it for this video, guys. Make sure you search by the broadest keyword term, and I'll be releasing a couple more videos this week. As promised, I want to do 3 a week. So that's it for now, and we'll chat soon. All right, take care, guys.